It's the year 2024, and I want to become a pilot.
I don't know anyone in the aviation industry.
Doesn't it cost €1 million?
I don't have the connection.
I'm too fat.
ChatGPT is a little too fake in their instructions.
My country doesn't have any public information about it.
I heard once from a friend of a friend of a friend that in order for you to become a pilot, you need to be an Avenger, and you also need to beat the Pokemon League while running a marathon before you're 17. It's normal that you have some questions. What you shouldn't be okay with is to remain without the answers. I had a teacher back when I lived in Mexico, wise guy. He used to say, el que pregunta parece ignorante, pero el que no pregunta por siempre será un ignorante. I've always heard that to become a pilot is too expensive or it's too hard, but I was ignorant about it. I didn't know exactly what it took. Not having connections doesn't mean that you're blocked from getting in the information. So get up, use Google, make some phone calls, go around the airport and ask around. Do something, and as you go, you'll start to filter the information that is actually relevant to you. That's how I've done it, and today, I want to be your friend in aviation that is going to help you to sort out the actual path to become a pilot in 2024. So first of all, very important note, I'm not a professional advisor. I'm not even a pilot yet. So people who are watching, and if you spot a mistake or if you have anything to add, feel free to do so in the comments without offending me too much, okay? Thank you. So here we go. Go grab a pen and build a tab like this one. Going to show you a few steps. You're going to write them down. And at the end of each step, I'm going to ask a question that you should answer sincerely. And this may help you to get to a conclusion whether you can become a pilot or not, whether you should become a pilot or not. And it's basically for you to assess if you have what it takes to go for it. I would love if you would type your answers in the comments, but I'm nosy like that, okay? But seriously, I'm being honest and transparent about my condition, and this is what this whole YouTube channel is about. And you should feel like this is a safe community for you to open up. So now let's go for real. Step one, watch a lot of YouTube videos. This is not me trying to be funny or a secret deal that I made with YouTube to make you spend more time in the platform, okay? It's not about that. You need to be somewhat aware of what aviation is really like. Not through Instagrammers that only show you the upsides and make you jealous with all the free trips and the perks of it. Look for an honest YouTuber that is not there to glamorize the lifestyle of a pilot, okay? But paints a real picture of what it is like. Let me know in the comments who are YouTubers that you respect. When you're looking for videos, look for a day in the life of or a week in the life of a pilot. Look for people that became pilots and ended up quitting the industry. Imagine that you don't like the airline lifestyle. Did you know that you don't have to be an airline pilot to make money as a pilot? You can be an instructor, you can be a firefighter, you can work in agricultural aviation, executive, cargo, medical evac, aerial survey. Whew. Basically, I'm telling you to try and get a feel of what it's like to be a pilot and check if it's a life that you would see yourself living or if it's not. Either is okay, but before you go through all the work, draw an imaginary life in the shoes of in the wings of a pilot and see and analyze if you liked what you have imagined. It may serve you as motivation or as redirection, and both are great for you. The only way for you to get those answers is if you do an honest and mature self-assessment. So please answer this question. In 10 years from now, how would I envision my lifestyle? Pause, think about it, write it down. Step two. List the requirements. Each country may have specific rules that apply to their territory, but at least in Europe, EASA, what? Type it how you think it's pronounced, but EASA makes it pretty standardized for the entire continent. Now, if you go to the EASA website, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to get lost. So basically, these are the requirements. I put them in a way that it seems like a process just for you to have a very broad idea of what it's like to go from completely ignorant to be ready to fly. So, list of requirements. First one, education. You need a high school diploma or an equivalent. It doesn't need to be in a specific area of study, but you may need to take additional lessons for maths and physics, depending on what your high school degree was. At least here in Portugal, most flight schools include those for free. Language, second one. you must have the ability to speak English. You don't need to be perfect, okay? To start, you must have some English skills, but most of the people that weren't that good in their English, they have gotten better as they were advancing throughout the course and were in contact with the language more and more. So to get a job as a pilot and fly one of those, you'll need to get at least NICAO level 4 of English. Third one is medical, okay? You need to be able to pass or to obtain a class 1 medical exam. Don't be too scared of it like I was. Medicals for commercial piloting are a lot more forgiving than the military ones. It's an entirely different kind of operation anyway. Spoiler alert! I'm planning for my next video to be entirely about this medical part. I'm planning on bringing an actual certified aviation doctor to share some insights, okay? So subscribe so you don't miss it. I'm gonna do that video because I see lots of fears and myths laying around about it, and I intend to exterminate them all. It's for the good of aviation, okay? So you don't get scared. If you have a minimally healthy lifestyle, you should be good. You don't need perfect eyesight. I wear glasses and I have that written out in my class 1 medical license. But I do tell you straight away that there isn't much space, there isn't much forgiveness for color blindness. Psychotechnical. Some schools may ask you to do some additional psychological or personality exams that are not contemplated in this medical one, okay? This is more for school criteria of selection or enrollment than an official universal law. Also, on the list, background checks. You must be able to pass some background checks. EASA, or the company that you'll be working for, will probably be pleased to know that they're not authorizing a terrorist to fly. So please make sure that you're not a terrorist before you join aviation, okay? If you are a terrorist, please make sure you give up on that life. Like this video if you're not a terrorist. Answer this question. How possible is it for me to meet those requirements? So pause, answer that question, think through. Sunrise again. Beautiful. Oh, not strong, not strong. So if you're fast, you got it. If you're not fast, put pause. So step 3, visit flight schools. Just so you know, and I need to warn you about this because I'm your friend, visiting flight schools is a time in which the aviation bug inside you will start to act like a parasite and take control of your whole body. You'll see a tiny Cessna 152 and get inside of it, and you're going to think that this is the greatest piece of engineering of all time. Schools are probably going to try and take you on a flight, and when the instructor is there with you and he lets you do a little banking, you'll feel like you're Maverick from Top Gun. Fight all of it. Sure, enjoy the experience, but remember that you are there to assess the school and evaluate if this may be a viable option for you or not. Shortly, just go to open days or visit the flight schools and get away from the commercial representatives. From time to time, don't be too obvious about it. They're all nice, okay? They're all nice, and most are truly there to help you. Here in Portugal, I felt like all of them were very transparent. But keep in mind, their goal is for you to enroll in their school. That's how they get paid. So if possible, try to get away a little bit. Go and say hi to a few of the students. Go around and ask for total prices. Scout them for hidden fees that they were surprised or they didn't consider before. Ask them why they chose that school in specific. How often do they fly? Do they get to fly? How often do they get to fly? How are the classes and the instructors? How is the school ability to manage paperwork, and how do they deal with communication? And I'm already giving away too much information that it belongs to a video in the near future. Comment below if you wanted to hear more tips. Jokes aside, DM me on Instagram and we can talk more about it. But in this video, I'm just showing you the bigger steps, and you're going to see me walk, and we're going to be walking together. And you're also going to see how much it hurts when you're learning to walk and you fall. I'm not talking about walking. So what you could expect in this next video. So yeah, common sense should be telling you by now, there's no point for you to visit a school in Madrid if you live in Krakow. You can't leave your job and your family there in Krakow. So search for schools near you where training in the facilities is actually something doable. Realize what kind of training you want to go through, okay? Integrated versus modular. The battle between these two is a whole new, entirely full video. But you will appreciate the fact that we dedicate some time to talk about this in depth. Also, and this is a very big also, don't get discouraged with the huge prices that you're going to hear when you visit the flight school. That's why Porter Pilot is here to prove that someone with a low income can do it. Also, don't think it will be easy. It will take a lot of patience and a lot of flexibility. So right now it's time for you to answer another question. What are the training options that fits into my reality? Consider the country, consider the modality of it. Put pause if you're slow. Nothing wrong with being slow, eh? Now, step 4, check your wallet. There's no going around this subject. Finances are the thing that keep most people from following their dream in aviation. When I started doing my research, I found out, oh yeah, it's really expensive. I was surprised to find out that most of the people that go into flight training, they don't have the finances for it. For them to become pilots, they depended on loans. They also depended on the help from others to go through it. And there's lots and lots of examples of people who really struggled to become pilots. So something that we should have it very clear for now is that it is forbidden for you in this channel to say
Aviation is just for the rich kids.
I think that's really unfair for the people that actually struggle. That's a myth. But the side of it that makes people say it is it can be tough. And I also need to be honest, it's not for everybody. Okay? It is not for everybody. You need to evaluate your reality and make a plan. Actually, you should make plans. As you can expect by now, this planning part will be a whole new video. But for now, I'll leave you with this little common sense tips. Come up with a total cost of training. Count with living, transportation, accommodation expenses. And also when you're doing your math, add the type rating costs. It's generally hard for you to get a job in aviation if you don't have the funds to pay for it. And last tip is for you to be very open, be willing to be very transparent, very honest about your finances with your partner, with your family, with your flight school, with your bank, but mostly yourself. Schools, they really want you to be there. So they usually have people in the banks to whom you can talk to, or maybe you need to be ingenious and find new ways to make money, develop new financial habits, or maybe even find new strength and time that you thought that weren't any and get a second or third job. If fulfilling a dream was easy, everybody would do it. Me personally, when I was wondering how people actually got the courage to get into such an expensive dream, I started texting people and asking, hey, how'd you do it? And an aviation YouTuber, Smash and Go, he told me, a crackhead always has money for crack, right? My question for you is, if you die without trying as hard and honestly as you can in order for you to become a pilot, what would be your thoughts there in the coffin? What would you think if you would die and you really didn't try as hard as you could? Can you write what your thoughts would be? Pause it and think about it. Hey, baby, you looking at me? You looking at me? You looking at me?
You want me?
Baby Ben. He's going to play with the microphone. Step 5, enroll into a flight school. We started our walk and we got to enrolling into a flight school. That's it. Enroll, go through the training successfully. No mystery here. Classes and exams, you pass the theoretical knowledge exams, and then you nail the practical tests. Once you're done, you get your ATPL or commercial license, and now you're a commercial pilot. Technically, you're a pilot, but this is probably not what you wanted. At this stage, everybody will be telling you,
You're not a real pilot because you don't fly the big birds.
probably you're watching Porto Pilot because you want to stop being poor and you're counting on your piloting to get the poor out of your objectives. This will require some things more from you, especially if the airlines are your goal. So I'm adding a step 6 just because of the majority of people. So a step 6 would probably be to obtain any additional ratings or certificates, okay? Whether you're flight instructing certificates or the infamous type rating. Type rating is a course you take to fly a specific airplane model. You need to get one whenever you need to fly an airplane with more than 5,700 kilograms, maximum takeoff weight. They are not cheap. And looking at what the aviation market is looking like in Europe now, it's extremely competitive to get a pilot job without one, or at least being willing to pay for one. There are some companies that will pay for it, or they're going to do the bonding. But yeah, type ratings in most flight schools are not included in the price. And usually a type rating range from 20,000 to 30,000 plus the accommodation expenses, all these things. So this is the journey we have ahead of us. And I'm pretty sure we will find many surprises on the way. For the subscribers or for the people that got into this video because of the aviation side of it, this was just a panoramic view. And we're taking deep dives soon about details for this process. For everybody that is in it just for the documentary side of it, I hope this helped you get a better understanding of why this is so ambitious. I believe that dreaming is important, and even if I don't make it, I'll be extremely satisfied to know that through this, I was able to encourage people to follow their dreams. It doesn't have to be in aviation. So if somebody would get encouraged with this initiative, woo. So my friend, was that helpful? Let me know through a like in my video. Do you want more videos like this? Subscribe. Are you impatient for the next video? Click on the ring button so you'll know straight away when the next video comes out. All my social media links are here, my @TheSport2Pilots everywhere. So follow, DM, get in touch, let's connect. I believe that Sport2Pilots is bigger than me, bigger than all of us, and even bigger than aviation itself. So let's give some wings to our dreams. Yeah.